Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode of Fresh Jazzy Finds. And we start off with some crazy after funk. This is a song from the album Nigaria 70. It's the most funky song on it. It's crazy, but it is a whole new component to discover, which is making funk music. And this compilation is a very nice introduction to this. It's really a mix of what local music was being played, the influences they got from outside, and they really go crazy on it. Not all the songs are as funky as this one. Turn it to the other side. But it really gives a nice introduction to the music being played at that time, and I was amazed. I did not know this was happening. Partly of course illogical, everywhere in the world they are making music, but this Afrobeat music is very interesting. It comes on 3 LPs, it's included, there are 2 CDs and 1 documentary of an hour. I've not seen that documentary, I hope to see it sometime in the future. Although I think I've seen some parts of it on YouTube already. Next album is Spark. Spark is a tribute album to Melvin Spark. It's a little bit logical, of course. It's an EP. And the tribute is done by Soul Life and Carl Denson. I'm not familiar with those 2 names. It's an EP, 4 songs, but if you do a quick calculation of the times, it's almost 30 minutes of music. And I must say, I really like this album. They have done this tribute in a very nice way. You can clearly hear Melvin Spark's music, but you can really hear their touch on it, their version of it. And it was a very enjoyable album. Next album, so with the Fresh Jazzy Finds, I usually focus on the albums I bought recently and which were new. This is the Menehan Street Band. The label says they are the backing band of Charles Bradley. It's complete, for that reason I guess, a complete instrumental album. And I was surprised, I don't have that many Deftones albums, and I guess this is the band who plays on those albums. It's also not an instrumental version of one of the albums they played on, it's really their own album. It has a little bit of a retro vibe to it, but very enjoyable. It's released in, does not say, the label does not give a clue, but I think something like 2012 or something, like the Melvin Spark album, which was also from 2012. A more recent album is by the Monophonics. This album I've played a lot. I'm not really familiar with the name Monophonics. I believe they have made now, this is their 3rd album maybe. Let me see which song to play. Holding Back Your Love. It's a little bit of psych in it, a little bit raw, a little bit of a retro feel to it, but done in a very nice way. There is something new about it, something intriguing, something very... I kept listening to this album. I wanted to understand it. I wanted to understand why do I like it. I could not really figure it out. It has something familiar, something new. Next song, for example. It's because it's not really all hard-driven funk numbers. It's also slower numbers like this one. And I think it is this balance which makes this a very good album. Next is Snarky Puppy, Family Dinner, Volume 2. This is also my first album. Quite funny because they released a new album. I don't remember the name. I saw that and I thought, who is this band? I liked the description, and as I listened to it, I found out that I like this album more, or yeah, I like this album. I preferred it over the new album. It's a live album, or it's live recorded in the studio. And it is really as if you're there. It is really an evening filling program almost. It is different styles. Snarky Puppy is a very big band. I mean, I would not be amazed if there are 10 to 20 people playing. They introduced guests during the album who are playing on it. It changes style. The main man is, of course, is it called Michael Legend, who is the bassist, who puts everything together. So you have music like this. They change it a little bit to Latin world style, and it is really like you're having dinner and there's a band playing all kinds of music, and it's very good, very nice. It's a double LP, and the last album of the last number on the D side, because I'm playing now the D side, sampling it, that is really so good. This with Nigel Hall, and he released a solo album. I'm trying to get the LP or the final version. I've not seen that anywhere. Discog says it is available, but it must be pressed in very low quantities, or it still has to be released somehow. The CD is available. It's almost a little bit like Stevie Wonder, a little bit in that style. But here they're playing with a big band, and I must say that is partly why I like this album so much. Because part it is like a big band playing, then they make it really small, it goes all direction, and it really feels you're having a dinner and your evening is filled with music. And very, very nice album. So we heard already a little bit of Latin. This is from Scandinavia. Jukka Eskola. He has released many albums on the Ricky Tick label. He has now moved to Schema. Trumpet player, French horn, very nice. And I must say, if you read, I don't know if you can read the label, but it says solid Scandi Bossa, and I mean that's beautiful description of what it is, because it's typical Scandinavian music. It has that blue note vibe of the late 60s, and they put in a little bit of Latin, and then you get something like this. I must say, it's almost like summer music. And probably because the winters are very long, when it is summer, they really want to enjoy it in Scandinavia, and they make this kind of music. And it's released in 2013, so it's already 3 years old. It's recorded in Finland, Helsinki. But this is still a leftover of the Ricky Tick label, and I must say, those people, every now and then they release an album, which is really great. Also from Schema is this album, The Dining Rooms. And I must say, I almost bought it for the cover and the title. Do Hipsters Love Sandra? And if you look at the cover, it has something 70s, something... And that's also very difficult to describe this music, because I still don't know what you hear on this album, because it's definitely no Sandra. Let me start with that one. It's clearly new music, it's electronic. It says on the front, it says here on the bottom, a soundtrack of cosmic funk, abstract jazz and cinematic avant-garde. And that's maybe a little bit over the top, but it has something very new, very interesting, intriguing. And what am I hearing? Is it an Electronica album? No, it's not. It's not jazz album. It's really, it goes in between. Skip to the next song. So it's also not all with a specific groove to it. It has some freeness. I must also say, I don't know who Dining Rooms are. I think it is from Italian, of course. They're together with two, a duo. There's some text on the back. I have not written it or read it before, so I'm not really sure if that explains what we're hearing. But this is also a very nice album to have and to play. Well, that's the end of the update video for this month. And we are back to Gimme 10.